Here and sitting down with me. My name is Sabrina Dillon and I'm currently in LDP. So I'm doing a huddle based on a topic that's helped me get to where I am today. Just a little bit about my past. I used to be an assistant store manager at Walmart. Did that for about 4 years, and that is a lot different than what we do here, as you can imagine. So daily, I was doing about 30,000 steps a day, and I was all over the store running operations. So it was really quick to get on like new topics. And then when I went from there to here, I all of a sudden realized like I gotta focus on one thing. That's it. So the reason why I left Walmart actually is just my why and my drive and what keeps me going here was to have more time with my family and make more money. How many people here want to make more money? Is that why you guys are here? Yeah, absolutely. So has anybody kind of gone through the same thing I have where it's really hard to focus on what you're doing all day long? You often get distracted. Anybody else relate? What are some distractions that you guys face? Do you have a distraction?
I just have a hard time just sitting in one place for a long period of time. So like I'll go get water and then come back. Like I just have to. I was kind of the same way as you. I was a PTA, so I was always moving, always walking around. And then I came here and it was just kind of more sedentary. And so I just have to get up and walk.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, some of the things that I get distracted by are like thoughts. Like I'll start thinking about, oh, there's this appointment I need to set for Savannah, and then I got to write it down to remember that. You guys know they actually did a study on focusing. So we actually get about 40 seconds of focus before we're distracted or interrupted. And if you're slacking off, that's actually about 35 seconds that you're getting. Does that seem about accurate for anybody here? You ever go through that? Even in personal life, right? I'll be at home cleaning and then oh yeah, forgot about that. And it's actually not because our brains are wired to be distracted. Why do you guys think it is? Anybody have any clue?
We're not having that much fun.
That could be it. Yeah. Actually, the real reason is because we crave distraction. We crave it. We crave communication with other people and thinking about different stuff. It actually releases dopamine in our brain. And so our brains find this very stimulating. Isn't that interesting? When you think about that, like our brains actually crave it, and it's proven. It's a study, So, we talked about we're here because we want to make money. It takes focus, but then we have distractions, and our brains crave it. So what do we do about it? That was my thing. When I very first sat in that seat, all I knew is that I had to make $150 4 hours of talk time and have a good work ethic. But I didn't know that I was going to battle this focus all day, every day. So I actually came up with a plan, which I wrote out into 5 steps to share with you guys. So maybe you'll get a couple takeaways on it too. These are tools that I've used, that I've applied, that have helped get me from where I was, this assistant store manager that was running around like crazy, to all of a sudden sitting down in one spot and just having to dial all day long and get into conversation. So, temptation to multitask. This is something where if we're multitasking, what do you think we're doing?
Not doing anything 100% right.
Exactly. Our brain is burning more energy. All right. The more we multitask, the more our brain is burning energy. So one of the things that I did was write down my goals. All right. I wrote down, what is it that I want to accomplish? How am I going to get there? What is the end game? All right. And I also made some pre-commitments because I knew I was going to get distracted. So I set up things at my desk that were going to help me out. This one right here, one of my first goals is 100K. The next year, that I'm here. I want to make 100K. So anytime like I'm just getting tired of the grind, going at it, and I'm like craving distraction, I'll pick up my snow globe. I'll think of 100K and why I want that, and I'll just kind of watch the sparkles fall. And I know it's really silly, but it helps me out a lot. Like, think about this, and I'm like, okay, all right, it's time to get back to work. I got this. This one, obviously, my biggest why. That's why I'm here. I got tired of working all the time. Like, it was time to make money and have a life and be there for holidays. So that just kind of reminds me of that. And then, girl boss. I know this is really silly, but I created a persona, the type of person I wanted to be. And I associated it to this title. So every time I'm feeling down on myself or that inner critic is coming out to play and beating me down, I revert back to this because I know that I'm capable of this. All right, so those are some of my goals and ways that I find associations to bring me back on track. I write down a distraction sheet. Like, if I'm being distracted, there's a lot going on up here. I mean, I'm a mom. You know, I'm riding solo. I got so much on my plate. So when I'm here and there's constantly something running through my head, I write it down. You know, it gets it out of my head onto a piece of paper. It is then tangible. I know I can revert back to it and take care of it. All right, so get those out of the way there. Eliminating distractions. Again, I mean, that's so hard to do. But I just remind myself of the different distractions that we deal with every day. Communication. I'm an extrovert. I love to chat. So when people come up to me and start getting into conversation, I'm all about it. And I know that about myself. So I've set up ways that I can draw the line, and that's how I'm able to eliminate the distractions. And then mental breaks and meditation. This is so important. I envision myself every single day getting here between 6 and 6:30. All right, and when I envision myself doing that, I envisioned an empty parking lot. So I made it a reality. Every single day I was here between 6 and 6:30, one of the first people on the floor to hit the phones and start dialing amongst some other things that I had going on. But that creates burnout. All right, and I went through a phase of this where all of a sudden I made a lot of money, I was doing a lot of great things, I was being recognized, but I was feeling burnt out. I wasn't giving myself the mental break that I needed. I wasn't allowing myself to think that, you know, it's okay to maybe wake up a little bit slower if you had a late night last night and not be the first one in the office, because sustainability, you know, that's the big piece about this job. You know, meditation, being able to sit back and just kind of close your eyes and think through things that make you happy. I know it's silly, but it really does work. So guys, those are my 5 steps, and I know I didn't break it down in writable ways, but again, that's temptation to multitask, writing down your goals, distraction sheet, eliminating distractions, meditation, and mental breaks. So, you know, those of you who are doing top in your metrics, hitting pretty high talk time. Who had a pretty high talk time yesterday?
Will did.
Will did.
David did.
Okay. So, I mean, did you spend most of your day on the phone? Yeah. What was your drive behind that? What kept you going?
I wrote down my goals on where I wanted to be. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
has
number
a
one
sheet.
thing right there.
Yeah, he has a
Yeah,
sheet.
and it works, right? It keeps you going every day. Yeah, so I mean, just like, you know, what he's doing, that's how we can apply it. Anybody have any questions?
How long you been with the company?
I just hit my 1-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did that, what, a couple weeks ago?
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a rock star, and she also prospects, right?
Yes.
While you're dialing away, closing guys and gals.
Yeah, so the unlimited, okay, so, you know, it's funny because I was going to dive in on this, but I tend not to talk about prospecting too much. But yeah, so I multitask all day long. Most people who know what I do think, the heck with that, that's too much work. I'm not going to do that. All right, so it's hard. And so literally I'm giving my full energy to both things, and I know that anything else that comes through is exhausting my energy. Like my phone is in my desk most of the time, unless I'm checking a family group text or something like that. But yeah, it stays in my desk, and I just eliminate as much as possible, because for a long period of time, not only was I pulling anywhere from 10 to 30 accounts a day, but I was also hitting 5 to 6 hours of talk time. And that's why these for sure work. Like I know for a fact, because that's how I was able to do it. I wasn't, trained or designed that way. I mean, obviously, when you're in retail, that's all you do is just run. That's it. That's the name of the game. So yeah, this is what helps me do that.
So what is do you know what your FTE is right now, or your kind of average sale per week is?
No. The last that I checked it was like 13 over the 28 period day.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've had some real big ups and
So
some downs.
13
Yeah,
over the month.
yeah.
So you're probably at a .8 or a 1. Talk about the meditation, because I believe Schnelly and possibly you may have started this and we've talked about it as a team, 8:30 on Mondays. Is that right?
Yes. So he does that 8:30 on Mondays. So really the big thing about this is envisioning a good call. So what does your ideal call look like? All right, for me, what I do is I find top performer calls that were OCCs, and I'll listen to them on the way into work and then on the way home. So that's in like my personal time. I don't have to worry about the stress of anything else. Like I'm just in that moment taking what I can from that call. So that's how I do it. Jason will actually have people sit in the room and lay down, relax, breathe deeply, and walk them through an ideal call, what that looks like. And everybody's ideal call, I think, is a little bit different. Yeah.
So, Jason and I, Schnelly and I have talked about it, and all of you are invited to that. So if you ever want to go upstairs, it's upstairs, right?
Yes, and it's on Mondays.
At 8:30.
At 8:30. Yeah.
Second floor.
Yes, second floor. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Can you talk about how you write down your goals? Are they immediate? Are they weekly? Are they monthly? Are they quarterly? Are they yearly? Are they 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, I love this part just because anytime somebody sees me do it, they think I'm crazy. So I have this huge vision board right above my bed, and I will blast music, and I'll be standing on my bed just like going at it, art style. It's called the vision board, and then I have CVLL, which is creating a vision, leaving a legacy, and it's just me putting good things into the world to be an example for what I'm leaving behind for me. Okay, so on there I'll put like, who am I as a person today? Who do I want to be? How do I want to see myself? Then I'll create like small goals, things that I want to be actionable every day, that I want to see consistency in. And then I have a little boxed area, and it's 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. And so I just write different little things in there, and I constantly update it. Like it's always changing, but that vision board is like there for me to see every single day. It's a reminder. It's super colorful. Like it totally stands out. I can't miss it when I wake up. So that's one of the ways. And then I carry around a journal in my purse all the time. So that one, I use that as a place to just kind of jot down what is currently running through my head. Otherwise, I have this thing where it's like, if I'm not writing it down and it's just floating around up here, like I can't grasp it, I can't reach it, it's not tangible, I can't put it into action because it gets disorganized in all the other thoughts. So as long as I'm writing it down, at that point, I know I can put it into action. So that's what I do as far as that goes every day. 2 different forms that I use there. Does anybody else use anything?
I have a vision board.
Yeah, you do?
I do. I do it every year after the first of the year. And I do a kind of through feng shui. And so, yeah, I've got it in my living room. on the wall. So I look at it all day, every day, even if I'm watching TV or I'm cooking or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Or I'm
amazing.
on
It
my
really
good
helps a
work.
lot. Yeah, mine is huge and it's right above my bed. You know, I wake up and like look over and there it is. You know.
It's a good way to start your day.
Yeah, it really is.
My last question is because this is, I believe, the 5th team that I've grown
Okay.
as a manager, and we have a few tenured individuals, but the majority of the team are newbies. And so do you have anything, and I love what you shared in regards to, you know, really keeping your mindset going and being present to what you're actually doing all day, every day here. But I know there's a lot of distraction. You know, some of us smoke, so we're taking multiple smoke breaks. We're doing this. We're going to get water. Our friends are coming up and talking to us. We have power hour 2 to 3. You're not supposed to leave your desk. People leave their desks. So how, when you first started, you came out of the gates just crushing right away. And I was like, who is this chick? And I pulled your calls, right?
Yeah.
So what did you do besides self-discipline and your own goals to kind of figure out the product and how to sell it and be consistent doing that? Do you have any input for kind of the newer individuals?
Yeah, so I was lucky in the sense that I had a couple people that I looked up to who did sales who were making a lot of money. And I had to figure out what I was good at. And one thing that I was good at was problem solving. So before I was an assistant manager, my job was to find problems and to implement process, okay? So I saved the company about $2.3 million doing that. So I knew I was really, really good at that because that's a huge accomplishment. So I had to take that and revert that back to what I do here. Why do we create products?
To help people?
To help people, to solve problems, exactly. So when we're on the phone with a business owner presenting them a product, that product needs to be beneficial to what they're doing. So what helped me with our product is I stopped pushing the product and start pushing how I could be a tool to their business. How could I solve their problems? The sooner that I realized that that was my way in, the better my discovery got. I spent about 15 minutes in discovery. I spent a lot of time building that rapport. So that is what helped me out of the gate, was to find my way in with that. Yeah.
So when you are doing discovery, you're focusing on it for 15 minutes.
Open-ended questions. Because I got sick of feeling like I was going through a checklist. Like, okay, Bob, you're the next on the checklist. Like, that's so annoying and redundant. Like, I need to be having a conversation.
Can you give some examples?
Yeah, exactly. So, one of the ones that's my favorite is, what are your goals with the business? What direction do you see it going? They can't reply yes, they can't reply no, like they actually have to have a response. And so once I find out like what the goals are with the business and where they want to go through or how they want to go through with things, then it's like, okay, well, how do you see yourself getting there? What type of tools are you currently using? What are they doing for you? Okay, well, this is what I can do for you. So those are my two favorite questions. Sometimes you get them talking by asking what got you into the business. You might find out that the business was passed down to them, you know, and they love talking about that stuff. It's not just a job to make money at that point. Like, it's something they inherited and, you know, they have pride in it. So those are three of my big questions that I ask. Anybody else have any questions?
Use her. She's amazing.
Well, I mean,
I've
is this...
sent some of her calls to y'all, so.
Oh, thank you.
What's your favorite intro?
Huh?
What's your favorite intro? I know everybody has like a different way of introing.
Yeah, so I actually was just talking with somebody on this who's having a hard time getting into walls. Hey, this is Sabrina from Home Advisor. Click and do that about 150 times. It'll really kind of get to you, right? So Hey, this is Sabrina. I was giving you a shout because I'm looking for somebody who can handle kitchen remodels in Golden. Do you have any availability on your schedule?
Help me, okay?
Yes, I do. At that point, they're thinking about jobs. Okay, great. Giving you a call from Home Advisor here. I'm sure you've heard of us, maybe have a friend or two who uses us. How soon do you think you would be able to give somebody a call back? So it wasn't deceptive. Like, I got Home Advisor in and actually formulated a sentence on it, but I kept them thinking about the projects. So as long as you keep them thinking about the projects, usually Home Advisor doesn't really matter. They're not thinking about being sold, they're thinking about jobs. You know, so that one really changed things a lot for me. That was super helpful. Yeah.
How do you find ways to stay positive when you do have down weeks?
You know, I'm so guilty of like taking my mouse and doing a little smack, getting up and walking away like. And you know what? It's okay. Like, do it if you need to. Let it out. You know, walk away. Go for a walk. Go talk to somebody. Get it out. You know, like refresh yourself. Because when you get back into the next call, like you have to have that good mentality. So I'm not the type of person that really keeps it up and it's just like, okay, keep on flowing through. Like, you know, I have to deal with it. I have to get up and I got to keep going. And so it's just like taking that second to be like, okay, you got this, you're being dramatic, let's get back to it. Like the next person, you know, I do a lot of pep talking, like up in here. I'm like, okay, you got this, you're it's like, come on, I'm gonna close this one down. So just a lot of pep talking for myself. You know, I let out the energy that I need to just because I'm that type of person. And then I get back to it and I pep talk myself. Yes, yeah. Any other questions?
User.
Well, if not, you know, my door is always open. I enjoy meeting new people and being of service any way that I can. As a matter of fact, I mean, you know, I would appreciate it if you guys did like maybe just like a quick little follow-up and said like, hey, you know, this was helpful for me, just like 1 or 2 sentences, just because I feel like what I'm doing is maybe a little bit different than what some other people are doing. You know, mine isn't based on like objection handling, things like that. Like it's really based on developmental experiences that I've gone through. You know, I read a lot of books, I watch a lot of videos, I follow a lot of people who are very inspiring. So I feel like, you know, if I can offer something that's a little bit different, then, you know, I love that, especially if it helps other people. So I would appreciate some feedback. All right?
I got one quick question.
No, you're good.
What do you normally do whenever they're like, oh, I got to think about it? Oh, like once you get your credit card, once you get down to them actually paying the money, they're like, yeah, well, what was your number one go-to?
Yeah, so I got to think about it. All right, we've just spent the last 30 minutes on the phone. You told me that you wanted to do this, so maybe I went wrong somewhere in explaining something. What is the true hesitation here? You know, like I would keep digging for that hesitation because you could ask that question literally 2 or 3 times and each time get a different response. So like, what is the true hesitation? I feel like I checked off a lot of boxes here. We went through this, you were good. We went through this, you were good. You're gonna be more profitable here. So what's really going on? You know? So I would push for that hesitation at the end and push as hard as you can until you feel like you're gonna lose them. Once you feel like you're gonna lose them, then at that point that's where you back off and do a follow-up. You know, and I'm big on that one because the thing is although I'm a salesperson, I don't want them to think I'm coming off as a pushy salesperson. So I will push it to the very line, and then at that point I'll retreat. You know, do the best you can on that one. Yeah. Cool. All right. Any other
So
questions?
all of you, please email her kind of some takeaways. If you can do that straight away, so it doesn't get lost.
Dylan. And my first name's spelled a little weird, so just make sure you look at your guys' invite there. Sure. All right, thank you.
Cool.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate your
Thank
time
you.
today.
Good job. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. I like your